Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let me adjust this a little bit. Protect your wealth. Ensure your assets are covered. How do you do that? Welcome to day 79 of our Supersize Your Business annual challenge. Today we're talking about the awesome topic of insurance. Now, this might not be an exciting or sexy topic to you, but it's a really important topic depending on your personal requirement for feeling safe and protected. Now, I have a relatively high need to feel safe and protected. Don't know where it came from, but I just do. Probably because I've had some significant losses throughout my life, both personally and professionally, and that makes my need for a sense of security and protection greater. So how do we protect ourselves in our life and in our business? Well, of course, through having insurance. And there's all different types of insurance, right? There's health insurance, there's liability insurance, there's umbrella policies, there's business insurance, there's rental insurance, there's homeowners insurance, there's pet insurance, there's pet health insurance. As the world grows and expands, and as people come up with more ideas, more and more types of products and services are available. And this applies to the insurance industry just like any other. Now, I'm not an insurance expert. I'm just a person that uses insurance like all of us, hopefully. And I've learned over the years through some bad experiences that having the right coverage and insurance is absolutely positively critical. Have you ever had a rock hit your windshield of your car as you're driving somewhere to work or on a trip and your windshield cracked or your windshield broke? And then you find out as you call your insurance agent that you don't have windshield coverage. Now, it didn't used to be so bad. It was like $300 or something. I'm old, right? To replace a cracked windshield. But nowadays, my daughter just had hers cracked by a rock, and it was like $1,400 or $1,500. And now they've got antennas and all kinds of things and Wi-Fi built into, I don't know if Wi-Fi is, but different things built into and designed into the glass and into the windshield itself, which means that they're even more expensive. So we want to make sure that if we have insurance, the coverages that we need are in there as well. And that depends on your situation, right? Everybody's situation is different, so everybody's needs and requirements for insurance are different. But not having insurance is like building a house without a foundation, trying to build a business or a life or create wealth for yourself and then protect that wealth. And to be honest, people will do more to protect the money and the wealth that they have than they will to actually earn more wealth. There's been scientific studies done on that. So insurance and risk management are the fastest, easiest ways to do that. So do you have insurance? Do you have the right and proper insurance coverages for you and your situation? I forgot disability insurance. What other types of insurance are there? So many. And we want to be smart about how and what we buy. And we want to make sure that the cost of the insurance protects us at a certain level, but doesn't outweigh the benefits of having that insurance. I actually tend to have more insurance than I need because I had some bad situations. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and I did not have proper health insurance. That cost me well over $350,000, and it's taken me I think it took me about 11 years to pay off all that debt, right? That was associated with that. So that was my big, we got to have insurance. Then in 2013, my son went on a trip to Mount Everest and ended up having to be flown off the mountain in a helicopter for high mountain altitude sickness. That was what really sold me on the power of trip insurance. And that wasn't even on my list. I just thought of that. Trip insurance, if you're traveling, nowadays, especially with all the crazy things that can go on in the world outside of our control, if you spent a lot of money and put a lot of money down on a cruise or a luxury vacation or a once-in-a-lifetime trip that you've always wanted to take, and anything happens to prevent that from happening the way it's planned out, you want to have trip insurance. I think it was $79 for trip insurance, and it was like $35,000 or more to fly him off that mountain. So was that a good return on investment? Hell yes. So we cannot always predict what life is going to show us, what's going to happen to us in our lifetimes. And that's why it's important to have the coverage that we need to ensure that if something does happen to us, our family is protected and taken care of, our business can continue, the income can still come into your family if you aren't there to actually be income generating. So today we're going to do an audit of what insurances you do have and what insurances are imperative. I made a list here. I need my magnifying glass. So today, audit your insurance coverage. Make sure you have enough coverage. Are you uninsured anywhere? What would happen if something happened, you got sick or broke your leg or got in an accident and you couldn't work for 6 months? Been there, done that, found out. Wasn't very fun, but that's what I had to do. And again, like I said, it took me 11 years to get that taken care of. Life insurance, term life, not whole life, whole discussion on that. Spend a whole day on it. Disability insurance, auto insurance, renters and homeowners insurance. I cannot tell you how many horror stories I've heard about people and from people I know and care about that have lived in an apartment building burnt down or flooded or whatever, and they then found out that none of their stuff was covered because the only thing that was covered by the owner's insurance was the facility itself and repairing that, none of their personal property. And then I am a huge believer in umbrella liability, umbrella policies. I still make sure I always have one because I've always had a bunch of diverse things going on, and I want to make sure that I'm covered no matter what. Now, if you have a business, there's different things that you want to make sure you have covered. But for us, for this challenge, what are the basics, right? If you drive, auto insurance. If you've got a car, auto insurance. If you've got a home, property insurance. Hello, real estate property insurance. There's different types of insurance built into all the different types of transactions that we have. I will say, take the insurance. You never know what's going to happen. So what are we going to share today? We're going to share today that the one type of insurance that gives us the most peace of mind, that makes us feel the most secure. Mine is now, it's still my umbrella policy. Who am I kidding? The umbrella policy is the biggie for me because it protects everything that I'm doing in all of my different businesses and things, and me personally as well. And there's different ways of protecting ourselves from our business. If you happen to have a business, our business, but we'll talk about that in Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. So today, share in the comments below the one insurance that you feel the best about having, right? And that you feel the best about paying for because you know, and really what it is the insurance companies are betting you don't have an accident or nothing bad ever happens to you. And we are betting that it does. Kind of half backwards, right? We want to make sure we never have any of these things happen, but we also want to have the coverage in case we do. I suppose manifestors would argue, and people that believe in the woo-woo things of life would argue that you shouldn't have insurance because that's automatically thinking and telling the universe you think something bad is going to happen to you. I say poppycock. All right. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. I am on vacation. I'm traveling for spring break with my daughter and her 2 daughters, which has been super fun, but also a little bit stressful. So, whenever you're out of your home environment, it gets a little stressful. All right. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.